Good afternoon. This is Dana from Financial Aid Compliance Solutions, and welcome to Let's Talk Financial Aid for College. Today, I am very excited to be having our featured guest, Theresa Harris of Scholarship Momma, and we are going to be discussing student financial empowerment. It's a new initiative that's been kicked off by the Federal Student Aid section of the Department of Education. And right now we're in the process of trying to connect with Theresa. And Theresa, let's see here. Let me see if I can get you. Well, okay, I've got you online, so that's great. Now we just gotta wait and see if we can get connected. That's just the next step of it. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that status to change to connected, Student Financial Aid Empowerment was launched by the Department of Education during last month's training, and we are connected. Theresa, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Theresa?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Woohoo! Third time's a charm.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. I'm so happy to have you as a guest on this show. This has been an exciting adventure for the two of us since last month, correct?
Correct. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you so much for inviting me. What a way to kick the new year off with a live podcast with you having me as a guest on your podcast. So thank you so much to your listeners. I would like to say Happy New Year to you as well. You all are in for an awesome treat on today. If you have been with us for the last 15, 20 minutes, you know that we were having some technology issues, but that's okay. We kept trying, and the third time is a charm.
Yes, it is. And I am so excited to have you with me today, and also to announce that we are going to be working together for the foreseeable future on student financial empowerment to help our students out there become a little bit more financially, empowered is the main crux of it. And I would like for you to tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, thank you again.
Sure.
My name is Theresa Harris, aka Scholarship Momma. I help families save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on their college education. I do that in two ways. I get a chance to know your scholar, and then I find or help you find the right fit, right match college for your scholar. You could say that I research and study colleges for a living. And so I am so super excited of this collaboration that we have going, like you said, for the foreseeable future.
Yes, definitely. Very excited. So student financial empowerment, as I've indicated earlier, that the department launched this during the Federal Student Aid Training Conference that was held last month. And I guess it was actually exactly a month ago this week, correct?
Yes.
And so you and I had got together and we attended the training sessions, and then at the end of each day we got together live on Instagram, on our Instagram pages, and did like a financial aid wrap up. So that was one of the classes that I had attended, because I believe the class that you were attending, you wanted to attend it, but was going on at the same time, and I hadn't planned on attending it. And then all of a sudden I found myself signing up for this initiative. So a little bit of the information that came from that class is the reason why the initiative was kicked off, and what is student financial empowerment is a series of engagements with students, families, and educators that collectively support a student's ability and confidence to make financially informed decisions toward attaining financial well-being as an adult, regardless of career or educational journey. And to help students with that, there is a plan that has been put in place. And goal number 1 is to empower a high-performing organization. And they also want to, as a goal, provide world-class customer experience to students, parents, and borrowers that we are serving. We also want to increase partner engagement and oversight effectiveness. We also want to strengthen data protection and cybersecurity safeguards, and also enhance the management and transparency of the portfolio. So the problem we have, and Theresa, I think with your experience that you've had as well in the financial aid world, is that we have quite a number of students that are so far in debt financially that it's affecting them throughout their course of their life now. It isn't just a matter of paying off just maybe $10,000 in debt. We're talking hundreds of $1,000s in debt. So this initiative, we really, I think, are trying to hone in so that students aren't going just for the name of the school, but they're also going to be more in tune to what they want to go to school for.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And I know personally that way back when I graduated high school, I had applied to a couple of colleges and was accepted to them, but I couldn't afford them. My family couldn't afford them, so I declined to go to those schools. And I don't know how many students are out there now, but I do know that we do have a decline in applications right now. And I think it's mainly across the lower sector. And so I am targeting this initiative to help those individuals that are in that situation, in that class, if you will, to be able to realize that they are able to afford school, but we need to start off with why you want to go to school and what career path you want to choose. And then also with your business, you are able to review the applications, but you're also able to help them afford school through scholarship research.
That's true. And so what I do is, as you were mentioning, yeah, there is the problem is complicated,
Mm-hmm.
and the federal student aid says that themselves. They realize the problem is complicated, and they are rolling out initiatives to try to help American students, college students, uh, tackle this problem. They want students to make informed decisions. They want
Mm-hmm.
students to be aware of how much money they're borrowing if they decide to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want students to be aware of how much money they have to pay back if they do borrow student loans or parent plus loans. And so it is a very complicated problem that the Department of Ed is helping families to understand. So you are right. What I do with families is some families do, in some instances, come to me and say, I want my child to go to this school, but I cannot afford the payments, or I cannot afford to take out a plus loan. Or sometimes they just say, I don't want my child to have loans, and I don't want them either.
Right.
And so what I do is I help find scholarships for students to apply for. And so, based on the detailed questionnaire that I sent to students, they complete that questionnaire. And my team and I, we go out and we find scholarships for families to apply for so that they will not have to incur debt, because as the Department of Education says themselves, the problem is complicated.
Yes, it's very complicated. I'm just curious, in the process that you have with your scholars, How many of them are actually willing to do the work for the scholarship? Because I know that in the past I have run up against students where the opportunity is given to them to apply for scholarship, but unfortunately they don't write in the essay and is part of the application, and if they're not into writing the essay, they just decline automatically.
That is a great question. I always pre-qualify the families even before we get to finding scholarships, because
Gotcha.
that is one of the things that I say is that most scholarship providers want students to write essays. And so, do you like writing? Because if you don't, then this is probably not for you. But do
Hmm.
know that there are some scholarship providers out there just require you to write, short text, or those types of scholarships are out there. There are sweepstakes scholarships as
Hmm.
well. But I let them know that the scholarships that I'm looking for, which my team and we vet those scholarships as well, is most unlikely you're going to have to write an essay. And I let them know it starts a lot of times. What I see is anywhere from 250 words all the way to 1,500
Hmm.
words as well. And so I pre-qualify them because writing essays is a critical component of scholarships. And also, I do let families know that writing the essays are great, and it also helps build your writing skills. If you have great writing skills, that's wonderful. But
Hmm.
it's an opportunity to build a lifelong skill, because, as you know, when you get into college, you're going to have to write papers. When you go to work, depending on what type of job, you might have to do some writing as well. Even the simplest emails, it does help build your writing skills, and so that is a positive to writing a scholarship essay.
Yes, yeah, definitely, definitely. And do you also find when you're working with your students, do they actually know what they want to go to school for, or are they entering school and then trying to find their way through the what the school has to offer program wise?
For the most part, they do know what they want to go to school for. 99% of them. I have come across the 1% who's undecided. What I
Hmm.
do advise parents at that point is that whatever school you know your child is going to attend, make sure that those credits transfer into the major, whatever they decide, because some
Excellent.
schools are different. And so we want to make sure that if you are undecided major, which is, some students are, just when you do decide your major, to make sure those credits transfer. So that's the advice that I give to parents, but 99% of them come to me already knowing what their major is.
Great, great. And I have another question with regards to do your scholars have they utilized the ONET um, online.org, the test that is available that the department is now implementing as part of the Student Financial Empowerment Initiative?
No. And so that is something that I'm going to be talking about more as we come together and collaborate more on this.
Yeah.
That is something I'm going to be talking about more of. Even I was super excited after the conference was over. And just let me say a little bit about me too. I am one in four Americans that are in student loan debt. I think Mark Brown said the debt now is $1.7 trillion, if I'm not mistaken. Mark Brown, by the way, is he was the CEO, right, of the Federal Student Aid Conference.
Yeah.
And I think he said, I want to say he said $1.7 trillion. Even if it's not $1.7 trillion, I think the last known number was $1.6 trillion. So I am one in four Americans who owe who is a part of that uh, awesome massive debt out here.
Hmm.
And after the Federal Student Aid Conference, I actually went and did some recalculations, because now they have the loan simulator that is new. And
Hmm.
I wanted to try that too. And so families, they are really rolling out, allow for students and families to make informed decisions, so that when you borrow student loans, you can actually do a loan simulator, and it tells you how much your monthly payment will be. And the loan simulator is even set up to tell you about your existing loans. And say, for instance, if you want to go back to school, how much you need to borrow, then it will tell you how much your loans will be increasing as well.
Mhm.
And so I was able to implement the information that they share from the Federal Student Aid Conference immediately by just going in and doing some of the work on my behalf, because I do owe student loans.
Yeah, I know personally in my student loans, I actually, back when I was in school, I went to a career school. I ended up with a paralegal degree, and it took me 10 years to pay off a 2 year schooling. And at that time, it was, it was only, if I remember correctly, I'm talking only about $12,000. But still, it took me 10 years to pay $12,000 off. The other thing I wanted to also point out is that student loans are the one thing that, if for some reason the student uh, has to file for bankruptcy, these loans cannot be discharged. And the main reason why they can't be discharged is because of the fact that this is taxpayer money that you have received a loan against. And so they don't discharge that in bankruptcy. I know that for a fact because I was a bankruptcy paralegal. And so, again, you're carrying this debt with you. And it also goes against your debt to income ratio when you are applying for a home loan, if you are applying for a car. And I think at this point, too, with everything that's going on with the pandemic and the loss of income for the majority of folks right now, this is going to just simply increase as time goes on. So we really need to get a handle on it. And so that is why I was excited to see that we're going to be working with students that are actually beginning in the ninth grade to support their journey, whether to college, work, or a combination thereof. And part of that, again, is to implement the utilization of that ONET online test. And I know that I'm going to be introducing that to a few of my family members that are applying to college. So that, because right now they're undecided. And one of them in particular that was undecided decided to go to school down in Philly. It was a private institution. And now there's $35,000 in debt sitting there, and we still don't know what we want to do. So, yeah, it's a serious problem. So I wanted to also discuss real quickly about our collaboration that we're going to be doing on Martin Luther King Day, the Day of Service, where we're
Yes.
going to be having an event. And we're going to be putting together a little something that hopefully everyone can participate in that are interested. And so do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so super excited about a day of service. We are coming together to talk about the latest federal updates that's going on. It's so many changes in federal student aid that it is hard for families to keep up what's going on. Honestly, it's hard for us to keep up what's going on. so
Exactly.
so we
Exactly.
want to keep families plugged into what's going on, because a lot of this is going to impact families, and there are a lot of great changes coming through. The pell is increasing as well. The subsidized loan usage is changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's changing. There's an opportunity now for prisoners to receive federal student aid. And so
Yep.
there's a lot of great changes that are coming through that's going to help families out tremendously. And Dana and I want to be that vessel for families to talk about those updates. And so our day of service on Martin Luther King Day, we are going to be sharing those updates. And I am just super excited about that day to share those updates and to work with this group, to work with you, this wonderful collaboration that we got going on here.
Fabulous. I am very excited as well. And on my end, I'm not only helping with the families, but I also am helping financial aid advisors, professionals with the information and also asking them to be part of this initiative too. So if you're interested in participating in our day of service, please contact myself or Theresa. You can contact me via my Facebook page, which is Financial Aid Compliance Solutions, um, or just go to my personal page, which is under Dana Anderson Sharples, and you can just send me a DM there. Also, I'm on LinkedIn under Dana Anderson, and you can also catch us on our Instagram pages as well. Theresa, I know that you're more active on Instagram than I am, and I need to get a little bit better with that. I'm more focused on LinkedIn at the moment. But if I remember correctly, can you provide your handle on Instagram?
Absolutely. My Instagram handle is I am Scholarship Mama. Scholarship Mama is SCHOLARSHIP. Mama is MOMMA. I am Scholarship Mama. You can also email me. I know you was giving out that information as well.
Yep.
You can email me at info@scholarshipmama.com. And I would love for you all or whomever you are out there to join us on the day of service because it is about giving back, and we will be sharing some pertinent information with families and with financial aid administrators.
Yes, yes, we will. And before we go, when we're talking about updates, we might as well discuss what occurred this morning. I know I woke up to the news as I was getting ready for the day that Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos has resigned. And with having said that, we are still quite a few days away from the inauguration with the new administration coming on board. And I know that with the day of service that we do have scheduled, it is scheduled for January 18th. The inauguration actually does not take place until January 20th. So at this point, I just wanted to mention that because I have a feeling within these next few days leading up to our day of service event, we're going to have a lot of things to keep track of. I do also want to just mention that I received actually an email indicating that through fsatraining.ed.gov,
Yes.
for those financial aid professionals, the verification, there's an online live verification class for the 21-22 award year that has been made available. So if you have not completed that training yet, I recommend that you do. I know that that's something I will be doing over the weekend. So we need to get ready for our verification. And also, just a reminder, everyone needs to also be prepared for your audits for this year. And we've got a lot of different aspects to this year's audits. And one of those aspects is I just had seen an update where the reporting for the what they call HERF funds that was received as part of the CARES Act. That deadline's coming up on February 1st, so make sure that you're aware of that deadline. And hopefully everybody got what they needed in as far as the deadline went for December 31st, and the reporting that needed to be done in COD for those students that were awarded loans in 2019-2020 award year and ended up withdrawing because of COVID-19. If you did not update those records, you need to contact the department to find out how you can do so if it is possible. If not, be prepared that that will be an audit finding, I believe. So with having said that and covering a few of those updates, again, Theresa, I want to thank you so much for coming on live with me and working through those tech glitches that we had. Next time it'll run a little bit more smoothly, I think now. But I am so happy to be working with you, and to the listeners, greatly appreciate your support. And I just wanted to offer that if anyone out there is interested, I have opened up the podcast to have patrons. And basically, what that is that it's kind of like a PBS subscription. If you are interested, for as little as $1 a month to support the podcast so that I can have other guest speakers and do a little bit more of event, if you will, feel free to look into becoming a patron. Again, for as little as $1 a month, and you'll have access to premium content, which is going to be coming a little bit later this month. I'm going to be launching the new premium content. So if you're interested, please look into that. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is danderson, ANDERSON, at DAS, Financial Aid Consulting Services.com. And I am going to end the show for now, but thank y'all very much for attending, and looking forward to talking with y'all next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome, Theresa. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.